There are just some things about technology that even I don't quite understand. We here at the Sypnotix have been fortunate enough to get our hands on a bevy of cool and interesting gadgets and accessories to get a glimpse into the future of technology. Most of the time, though, I don't mind spending a little bit more of my money on things I really know I shouldn't buy, and that clearly isn't worth the price that it's being sold at. Other times, I'm just left scratching my head dumbfounded at exactly what I'm missing about why I bought this. This is the new MagSafe charger from Apple, and it is absolutely unnecessary. First off, I gotta say this because Apple has really been on a winning streak with me, at least. On the early days on this channel, I enjoyed using Apple products to an extent. I've always been a Mac user, but I've also debated within myself whether it was truly worth the premium price to enter the Apple ecosystem. However, with lower MSRP retail prices for phones and even computing options these days on Apple, I've honestly had no problem recommending Apple products to the everyday man or woman watching our videos here at the Sypnotix these last 2 years. I was also a huge fan of the original MagSafe technology on the MacBooks in the 2010s. Those things literally were lifesavers for someone like me who was a kid fresh out of college without a lot of money, relying on his MacBook Pro to make a living. A drop would have killed it. While I never actually kicked or tripped over a cable, knock on wood, having that safety net of knowing your laptop would most likely stay in place with that particular connector disconnecting itself, it's just priceless. It was one of the casualties I did miss when Apple transitioned over to USB-C for power delivery. So when Apple announced in late 2020 that MagSafe was back, obviously I was intrigued. Then I saw and got my hands on one, and now I'm absolutely confused as to the actual purpose of this MagSafe charger. The MagSafe technology built into the iPhone 12 family of phones is essentially a ring of magnets around the chi sensor of the back of the phone. This magnetic pull allows Apple and accessory makers to make things like the new wallet add-on or this particular charger to seamlessly clip onto the back of the phone. If you've had a magnetic Qi charging case like the one we featured from Pataka, I'll have a link to the video, imagine that except built into the body of your iPhone. So hypothetically, it sounds pretty cool. This allows Apple to sell this new MagSafe charger for an additional $39 on top of what you bought the iPhone for. What you get is literally a puck-shaped magnetic Qi charger attached to a USB-C cable. Like the new iPhones of 2020, Apple doesn't include a power brick into the purchase. You're going to have to purchase that for an additional $20 because Apple recommends you use a 20-watt brick, and that's how much they sell for on their stores. This is already annoying to me. As someone who has set up a bunch of iPhones for elderly friends and family members, okay, Apple claims they're saving their environment or contributing to less waste by not including a power brick in their sales. Yet, their iPhone lineup still uses an outdated Lightning port, while all the other products and the rest of the tech world has transitioned over to USB-C. To make things even more complicated to the everyday user, the cable included in the iPhone 12 package is of the Lightning to USB-C variety. Many people upgrading to the iPhone 12 lineup, and by extension purchasing these MagSafe chargers, have a USB-A charging brick. They won't even be able to plug any of these things in. Even a tech reviewer like myself with dozens and dozens of phones, tablets, and laptops had to dig deep into my drawer to pull out a USB-C brick. Thank you, Google Pixels. The irony, right? The irony. While USB-C ports on phones are as common as a car driving down the street, most OEMs still provide USB-C to USB-A cables with a USB-A power brick. USB-C power bricks still aren't that common. By my count, from my circle of friends and family alone, that's way too many iPhone 12s that will need a new charging brick if they want to use this MagSafe charger. Follow the logic here. If Apple is trying to prevent gadget waste and assume most of the people out there have a power brick lying at home, why would they have USB-C on the other side of the cable? But to insult your user base, to insult the people, your loyal fan base out there, I'm not talking about myself, I'll get to this. Talking about your loyal fan base out there, you're supposed to be the people's champion. You protect everybody's privacy rights. Samsung gives away things. Huawei gives away. All these Chinese OEMs give away your data. We're Apple. We protect you. We're your people. We are your company. And then to come out and basically insult their intelligence by saying the reason why we're not giving you a power brick that you don't have, that you won't be able to charge this phone with, is because we're trying to save you. We're trying to save the world. It's good for the environment. Seriously, if you as Apple just came out and said, guys, it's COVID-19, it's tough for everybody, even Apple, a company as big as Apple, we're going to have to cut some costs and you're going to have to pay $20 for a power brick, for a new power brick. Okay, you got my respect if you said that. I totally understand. Smartphones, technology, everyone's getting hit right now by COVID. We understand that. But to make an excuse like that, and then to make a product like this stupid MagSafe with a USB-C on the other side and not have a power brick, and to say you're saving the environment? How do you put these two together and not expect people to see right through it? I'm sure there's someone at Apple corporate who has ran the analytics and actually found a little sliver of think, hey, if we don't put power bricks, we can actually use the statistic and cherry pick this statistic to say we're saving the world and helping with global warming. I'm sure that's a thing. But you know what? Everybody buying an iPhone 12 and this stupid MagSafe charger, they're going to be throwing away their USB-A bricks, and that's electronic waste as it is. If you're Apple and you really did want to save the environment, wouldn't it make sense for this MagSafe charger to have a USB-A on the other side of the cable? Wouldn't that make sense? Because everybody has a USB-A power brick lying around in their house. So if you want to prevent waste, I think doing that would be much better than your carbon footprint on actually producing new USB-C chargers, which everyone's going to buy anyway. They have to buy it. If you're upgrading from an iPhone 8 to this, you're going to have to buy a USB-C power brick, and they're going to probably buy it from you, Apple. You're making them anyway. You see the fallacy in this logic. And this is what really pisses me off, because there are so many senior citizens, baby boomers, people out there who love Apple, who swear by Apple, and they buy every Apple product because that's all they know about technology. They cannot change to something else, and they trust Apple with their lives. I know them. I know 70-year-old retired healthcare workers, nurses, people who worked really hard and saved up their money, and they're senior citizens hit with this technological advancement, and they don't have children. They don't have anybody telling them and teaching them about things like this, and they go out and buy this iPhone. They don't have a brick that works. They don't have a USB-C brick. Then they're like, oh man, what do? They go to an Apple store and they have to go buy a USB-C brick, and then they see, oh, this can wirelessly charge my phone. I'm going to get the MagSafe charger. They get the MagSafe charger, they go home, instead of having a brick, they realize there's no brick. They have to go back to the Apple store in COVID. You're talking about 70-something senior citizen going out there again into the wild. Even whatever the statistics are, to catch COVID in the wild, 0.1, even if it's like a 0.00001% chance, that's another person going back out to the stores to get a power brick that could have been included in, that should have been included in the first place. Do you see the fallacy in this? This is why this product here, with this cable selection, it says so much about this company. And it is absolutely frustrating. And that example I used, it's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. I'm not even... The thing with running a tech channel is you automatically, in your circle of friends and family, and your extended family and their extended families, you become their go-to. And people come to us, even on Twitter. Like, a lot of you guys just hit us up on Twitter and Instagram, at Sypnotix, I'll plug that. And you guys just ask us questions. And a lot of you guys are... in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And we love that. We love being able to communicate and help out people because we've set up a lot of phones for our family members who are seniors. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have grandkids they can rely on. They don't have children that they can rely on. That rant aside, what are the actual benefits of this MagSafe charger? It pushes charging up to 15 watts, which is actually pretty good for an iPhone, by iPhone standards at least. By comparison, a Qi charging stand like the Pixel stand only maxes out at about 10 watts for the Pixel 3 or other Pixels. Speaking of which, I have an inkling that because of the magnet ring built into the iPhone 12 on the back, wireless charging is nearly incompatible with most of the other Qi chargers I've dropped onto the iPhone. And that is also very frustrating because I put the iPhone on a charger overnight, and every morning my battery has gone the opposite direction, even though before I went to bed it said it was charging. That was one of the reasons why I was thrusted into trying out the MagSafe charger. While I do like the flexibility it offers users to continue using your wirelessly charging phone, this advantage is quickly negated by how short the attached cable is. It's about like 4 or 5 feet. I couldn't even stretch it around the narrow little coffee table in the studio. And because the puck is built into one end of the cable, we can't even buy a longer cable for slack and plug it into the puck. Even if there were more slack on the cable, after about 5 minutes, the phone does get a little uncomfortable to hold in your hand as it heats up while charging. I mean, that's absolutely normal. So that negates the entire purpose of being able to hold your phone while it's wireless charging. And finally, to bring this review back to the full circle, let's talk about the safety aura of the MagSafe name. If my dog walks by and accidentally trips the cable, will I feel safe knowing the iPhone will still be on the table with only the puck hitting the floor? No, absolutely not, because that's not what it's intended for. The magnetic connection is quite sturdy, I'll give it that. And while it isn't too stiffly connected, it certainly isn't loose enough for the cable to disconnect from a sudden pull, like the original MagSafe connector was meant to be. The trajectory your phone is set upon on this charger also doesn't help prevent accidents like we're accustomed to on the MagSafe branding. So, I honestly don't see any benefits of using this MagSafe charger over just your regular Qi stand that you might even have at home already, and I clearly don't see any resemblance to the original MagSafe technology on the MacBooks. Those things were truly one of those subtle technological developments that we take for granted. An underappreciated everyday use case that you benefit from. Instead, what we got was a much less competent relaunch for marketing purposes instead of technological resemblance to something amazing. Well, look at that. You made it to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe, follow us at all our social media links, and also definitely check out our website, Sypnotix.com. You won't regret it.